Hello, everyone. Welcome to this edition of the Kim Jacobs Show. Hi, Celeste Johnson over there.
Hello there, Kim.
How are you today?
I am absolutely fantastic, actually.
Well, I am fantastic having you on today's episode. And I want to thank you all as you're coming in, grabbing your virtual seats. Make sure you go ahead and type any comments. Make sure you know that you can ask questions of my guests. You're going to be totally inspired today. Today, Celeste Johnson is going to take you on an emotional roller coaster ride. So definitely get your tissue, get your cup of water. And once you hear her heartwarming story, you'll know what I'm saying. So I've already been doing some crying myself behind the scenes because it's just a great journey that she's going to talk to you about today. So let's go ahead and kick today's episode off. Let me start my music.
Okay. Woo, music. I love music.
It's going to happen.
Any moment now.
Any moment. All right. It is the Kim Jacobs Show, and Celeste Johnson is on the Kim Jacobs Show today, and very honored to have you, Celeste. Let me put my formal welcome up to you so everybody knows who you are. I am going to go ahead and introduce my guest today. Make sure you all share this broadcast with your friends, your family, your coworkers. Let people know that we are here on the air and they can watch it across multiple platforms: Facebook, Twitch, Periscope, and YouTube as well. So make sure you know that you can subscribe to the Kim Jacobs Show right on YouTube. Today's episode, we're talking about 100,000 Voices of Hope in Action. And so my guest, Celeste Johnson, is an expert at energizing and encouraging people to fully utilize their potential, facilitating transformation in themselves and others. And she truly does this. She does this internationally, from the United States to Belize, Canada, Dubai, Ghana, Japan, Kenya, Singapore, and South Africa. There is so much to Celeste's story, and I'm going to allow her to share more with you about her background. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
How do you feel being here today on the show?
We've been talking about doing this for a while, so it's really quite thrilling. I am so proud of you and the show, and to be supportive of you in general, but also to be your guest is just a cherry on the top, right?
I love it. And they don't even know this, but you sing. You're like internationally acclaimed singer. I'm not gonna put you on the spot, but if you decide that you want to belt,
my song might just fall out.
But if a song just falls out of your spirit, then by all means, you're okay with it. I see some lagging. And Shannon, tell me if you see any lagging as well, because I see lagging on my end. I don't like to go through a whole episode and then have glitching or anything. But if for some reason something glitches, you know how to carry the platform. Just keep right on going.
Right.
Talking. But let me know, Shannon, in the private chat if it is any type of glitching. Okay, so Celeste, tell us about you. Take us on a journey of who you are, and we'll ultimately get into the 100,000 Voices of Hope in Action. But I'd like for people to know who we're watching today first.
Awesome. Well, it's interesting. I hadn't thought of actually sharing this until just now, but it's interesting that I came into the world with a little drama. And I don't know how many people know this, but I was born in Texas. I was actually in an ambulance, and it was a tornado going on.
Oh my God.
So I was on the road from Fort Worth to Dallas, or which one of the directions.
Right.
I just said, no, I'm ready to come. So I was born in the ambulance, and it ended up taking me to a hospital. And so for me, it's the message that even in the midst of a storm, something wonderful can happen, right?
Something like Celeste. Wonderful.
So
wow.
It started off with a little job. I made the paper, because I was this little Black baby in this white hospital. It was kind of interesting. And so, that was the beginning, right?
That's right. I didn't know that.
I didn't think, I sometimes share that. But It's just interesting. So I have been a whirlwind ever since. What can I say? My mom talks about selling the Brooklyn Bridge when I didn't even know where Brooklyn was. And I think it really comes down to just, it's in my spirit to, and actually my gift actually is of encouragement. And I have been doing it all along. I didn't know early on that you could get paid for it.
Right. Until we encountered, Mr. Les Brown, right?
Oh, they pay you for this? This is a good thing. So, I've been in the business world, worked in the corporate world for many years, and several pounds ago I was in modeling and did that. And that's really where the bug came for empowering people, because as an instructor at John Robert Powers Modeling School, I saw they take a snapshot of people when they come in, and then they go through these classes and they apply the information. And at the end, they take another snapshot, and you'd see how these people just blossomed and grew, and they just look so much better. And I said, oh, I love that evolution, that transformation. And I think that's where the bug was planted years ago. And so all along, I just kind of taught here, taught there, and then eventually started speaking full time about 20 years ago, a little bit over 20 years ago. I know I look like I'm just 20, but okay.
Oh yeah, you look magnificent, my dear.
Thank you. I'll take it. But
our sisterhood, we compliment each other all the time. I love pouring women with compliments. Doesn't matter what race, now none of that. It doesn't matter. I love being able to shower love and celebration on my sisters.
And I like to do it, and I like receiving it too, right?
Right.
Which is also just an interesting point. A lot of women, because I speak a lot to women, have difficulty receiving compliments. Oh, that's okay, or we need to graciously receive that as well. But thank you. I say thank you. But yeah, it's been a wonderful journey. And as you mentioned, Les Brown, he came in and out years ago. I was about to go to grad school at American University in Washington, D.C. And I had met Les a few years earlier, and I was in Ohio, and he was on a book tour. So while I'm in DC, I went to check him out and what have you, and told him about my vision. He says, well, hey, why don't you come on out here and work with me? I said, well, I'm about to go to grad school. He says, well, okay, you can go to school and learn about it, or you can come out here and do it. Well, I deferred grad school and I jumped on the bandwagon. And so that was the beginning of seeing this whole industry from a major platform. And it's been an incredible story.
That's incredible. I was actually just texting to see something about Les right now.
Yeah, it's been a wonderful ride.
It really has. And I think that's where I met you, actually, is traveling with Les. I was like, hey, who is this wonderful woman? You just saw a ray of light when you came into the room. I was like, who is she? Don't stop. There won't be nothing. So you bring a certain level of energy and excitement and enthusiasm, and then you hold true to what you actually bring in when you come in with your presence. You also bring that with your performance and with what you actually share. So I'm excited about Celeste Johnson and what you bring to the world. Some of the things that you talk about, you are author of many books. So just tell a couple of the books and maybe even just a few takeaway points from some of the ones that are more prominent in your life.
I have 8 books, actually. And
yeah, you're a major author.
It's like I just kept writing. But it really came because I'm an information junkie. I actually love gathering data. And when I would speak and train, I just wanted to give my clients as much content and information and insight as possible. So I continue to gather things. And so the first book really came from an extended handout. It kept getting bigger and bigger. I said, this is a book. Yeah. So I started doing that and just capturing content. One of my favorites and best-selling books is called Dare to Succeed. No More Excuses. It's Time to Win. And it really is an offshoot from my choosing to train and run in the New York City Marathon.
Okay.
So it's life lessons that I learned for actually running that 26.2 miles that day with all those other crazy people. But a lot of the lessons that were required in that activity are transferable to life. And so I put it in a book. Like, for example, the DARE is actually an acronym, DARE. The D is discipline. And we know we need discipline,
Okay.
physical discipline.
Well, I'm going to type, but Shannon's backstage, so she's going to type, I'm sure. Okay,
Yeah.
so D is discipline.
Discipline the various aspects of your life. One, of course, is mental discipline. You have to shift your mind and to be able to achieve what you want. And I break it all down, and we needed to discipline your body in order to do the things, in order to run or in order to optimize your success.
Right.
It is to act with clarity and focus. We want to take action, but not indiscriminate action. We want to be very clear and focused when we do so.
Okay.
So action, the R, is about raising the bar. Raise the bar on endurance, raise the bar on expectations. You get what you expect. You start to behave differently when you expect something to happen, right? I say, if you believe something to the point of expectation, your behavior changes. So we go into that whole kind of thing. And then the E stands for engage with people, purpose, and passion. And again, it's so important.
That's good.
It's success by itself. If we talk about self-made and all of that. Well, it's no fun by yourself. You need to have somebody to celebrate with and to go on that journey with. So that's kind of the overview of that. And I have that's the most popular one. I have one other one I love is Essential People Skills, which I know you.
Okay, yeah, I love it. I read that too. I've read all of your books. I've read every single one of them, but definitely multiple ones. And they're very robust. So it's like almost like a course, a class. When I read your books, I don't look at it like just a quick read. Mm-hmm. I look at it as stuff that you need to bring out a highlighter and really implement some of the information that you're teaching.
Great. Well, thank you for that. That's what I really want. So it's good to know that's how you receive it. Because it is about growing. It's about transformation. It's about moving from where you are to where you want to go. We love you where you are, right? But we can always be the best version of ourselves. And I look at the information that I provide as an extension of who I am. I can't be everywhere at the same time, although technology is good. Right. But having some takeaways and people can go at their own pace. And you mentioned it's like a course, and many of those books I will be putting into an online course so people can extrapolate and work through those continued points. So yeah.
Good. And how do people get your books?
Well, it's on my website, my main website, which is my name, Celeste Johnson, JONSON.com. CelesteJohnson.com. And if you go to the store, you can get some of the books there. I don't have them all there, but many of them are. So
that's really good because I'm to purchase books. I'm really encouraging you all to definitely go and take a look at her different products that are on her store, CelesteJohnson.com, to purchase her books, the ones that are there. Even if you just get one to start, you will get something. You will get something that's worth its weight in gold because it's some really good content. So I'm happy to hear about that aspect of your life. Now, I do want to let people know that today tell us about the marathon for a second. I don't want to just go. I want to go into 100,000 Voices of Hope, but you have so many different components to who you are, and you ran a 26-mile
marathon twice.
That is a major accomplishment. We can't just brush past that. So
the interesting thing about it is I was actually working with Les on the road as his road manager right before I did the first one. And I was about to break out and speak myself, full time. And I had been doing things here and there, but I said, I need to do something. But I didn't have like that rags to riches story.
Right.
I hadn't overcome any major obstacles, and those are great stories that can propel you to the front.
Right.
But I didn't have those. So it's like I could borrow somebody else's story or create my own. So I thought if I run and complete the marathon, at least I'd have something to talk about, right? And so I did. And so I went through the whole training. I thought it was a challenge. I wanted something to challenge me. And I was not a runner before I did this. I exercised here and there, but there's a difference in running endurance races and doing cardio.
I wouldn't know. I can't even say, oh, girl, I get it. I'm like, what? No, I need a lot more tips on that.
It's definitely different. But anyway, I just decided, and like I always do, I dive into research and I studied and said, what's the plan? What do you need to do? I found out, put it on my calendar and trained for about 5 months. And then I went out there. It was just crazy. It was 35,000 people that first year out there, all of us out there, and it rained that whole year. And it was amazing. But the sense of accomplishment the ability to decide, to implement, and ultimately get the outcome was such a wonderful thing. And for example, there's lots of lessons, as I said, that I include, particularly in the Dare to Succeed. But one of them is like I learned a strategy in order to do it, from going from not running to running. How do you do that? There was a gentleman who does training, and he talks about how you run a mile and walk a minute. Run a mile and walk a minute. And what that does is you're not stopping, but you're giving your body a chance to adjust. And if you do that, you can actually have a better time than if you just try to press through it. So the life lesson is you press and then you rest. You press and then you rest. You know, some people just keep burning the midnight oil and then they burn themselves out. No, you have to pace yourself in order to get to the finish line and be strong. So little things like that were examples of lessons I learned along the way. I'll tell you one more quick story. I think a lot of people love this and I love it too. And I think it really helps us. The first time I did it, around mile 20, I got a cramp in my left leg.
Okay.
And I knew you can't focus on the cramp because whatever you focus on gets bigger.
Right.
You need to focus on what you want, not what you don't want. That's right. So I couldn't focus on the cramp. And I thought about it. Oh, got a piece of hair on my face. So
it doesn't matter. The way you're even just taking the hair out of your face is just so cute.
It's so cool.
Like, I'm like, when I have hair in my face, I'm like, hold on, I gotta go take a break. I got a piece of hair in my eye. You'd be like, calm down, drama queen. It's so funny. You're over there like, oh, I got a piece of hair in my eye.
Okay, here we go. No. Life, you gotta have fun. You gotta have fun. So I'm in the race around, so I get this cramp and I realized, again, I couldn't focus on it. So I shifted, consciously disciplined my mind and shifted to think about the rain. It stormed that whole year. It rained. We were all wet, just running. So I consciously thought about that. I thought about my music. I had my headset on, so I was thinking about that. And then I remembered, as I said, I didn't have that Rags to Riches story. I need to finish this race.
Right.
And so as I shifted my focus away from the pain, it actually went away right into my right leg.
The other leg. I thought you were going to say it just went away. And it went from one leg to the next.
So I said, okay, I've got to do something. I can't let this happen. So I remembered a poem that I had written about a year before, and I started talking to myself. And we know that talking to yourself sometimes is the only time intelligent conversation takes place, right?
Right.
So this poem goes like this. It says, when current results are different than what I thought when I began, I must not quit, but keep repeating, it's not over till I win. When problems and changes are all around me and I just can't seem to find a friend, I must say to myself once more, it's not over till I win. It's not over. No, not over. I must know this deep within, in my mind, my heart, and my spirit. It's not over till I win. I will never give up. I will never give in. I will never give out. It's not over till I win. Say it every morning, through good, through bad, through thick and thin. Every day I say with conviction, say it with me. It's not
over until I win.
And I went across the finish line 5 hours, 11 minutes, and 51 seconds later.
I feel like I'm in a seminar right now. You're like, say it with me. Say it with me. I leaned in. I'm like, it's not over until I win.
I love it.
I'll make sure I put that up. Thanks, Shannon. That's so funny. I keep saying someone else's name, and people are probably like, who's Shannon? Shannon's working with me backstage, and she's typing some of the comments, guys, just so you all know, and I appreciate her help. It's not over until I win. And we know that that's a major quote from Les Brown, and he talks about that many times over. And you definitely have to go and check him out speaking at the Georgia Dome in front of 80,000 plus people, where he talks about winning and accomplishing greatness. All right.
Let me say one thing. I taught him everything he knows.
Oh, you taught me. Yeah, see? Oh, man, I wish I could just, you ever tell you talking?
Because we'd be on the road, Kim. Okay, we'd be on the road, and so I would travel with him, and I tell him a story, and he'd like, "Oh, that's good, and then he'd take it to the platform, and people love it, right? And then I said, "Wait a minute, that's my story."
OMG, that is so funny. Oh, so you the one to train him?
I trained him. That's what it was.
See, he's not here to defend himself, so he's gonna be like, "Well, you learned that."
He'll say, "Well, yeah." I used to mentor her. Now I'm her mentee. Anyway.
You're gonna kill me, Les, but guess what? I'm on this show live with Celeste, and she is officially saying on the show to all of my viewers that she taught you everything you know. And so I don't know if you want to eventually pop on here and come head to head with her, or if you want me to put you on speaker to defend yourself, or what. Oh, you don't want to say nothing to her?
You know, it's true.
Oh, he is saying you did teach him a lot. Okay, you want me to put you on speaker to say that to the audience right quick? Okay, hold on. Okay, go ahead.
There's no question she did teach me a lot. But I strongly say you're never too old to learn. You're never too young to teach it. She's a bad mama jamma.
Oh, that's sweet.
All right, Les, thanks so much for defending your title.
Okay, thank you. Love you.
God bless you. Bye-bye. I just want to make sure he gets a chance to endorse what you're saying.
You have to pay him later. Yeah.
Well, there you have it. That's from Les Brown. And he's international motivational speaker. He has a book out as well. You Got to Be Hungry. If you do not have your copy of You Got to Be Hungry, make sure you get it off of Amazon. It's available right now, and it is a book that will change your life. You've got to be hungry. If you're not hungry, what else is there?
That's right.
Then you're just the walking dead. Life is over. I mean, and you might as well just wait till your death date and then call it a day.
That's right. That's
so
right. That's
let's go ahead and talk. We're going to talk. Well, first of all, so my studio audience members are chiming in and they'll be like, Kim, I know you saw my comments. And you didn't say it. So, oh, hey, Lakertisha Slade McIver says, amen. When you were talking about receiving those compliments.
Amen. All right.
It's a beautiful thing.
Thank you. Yes, it is.
And you know what? She always dresses so nice. I see different posts from her, and people be like, "Girl, why you dress so nice?" She said, "Girl, I'm getting prepared for this." We're in quarantine, and I don't know her like that, like talking about, but she is dressed to the nine. Dressed.
That's what she's ready. Being ready.
Being ready. Yes. Okay. Patricia says, "Kudos to you, Celeste. Well done."
Thank you. Yes, thank you so much.
My mom is on and she said, "Good morning, ladies."
Good morning, Miss Ella. Is it Ella?
Yeah. And one of our church mothers is on. She's Mother Julia Harper, and she's 83 years old. She watches every day faithfully.
Oh, wonderful. That's awesome. It's good to have great fans, right?
She doesn't type any comments, but she's on and she texts me later and said, "Baby, that was a great show. I enjoyed myself." Okay, let's see.
Awesome.
Tashiana said, "Good morning." Good morning to you, Tashiana. It's a pleasure.
Hey, Tashiana.
She said, "I ran a half marathon in 2015. Went from not running to doing a half marathon is insane. So it can be done. It's a mental game, and I trained for 8 months."
That's
great.
great.
Do you really think it's just a mental game, Celeste, since you're here talking live?
It's a combination, and it's very much mental. Obviously, your body is engaged. Obviously, you have to run and get your endurance up, your breathing, your health, and your legs. I think the biggest thing that I fell short on from a physical standpoint is really building your leg muscles, because that's a lot of pounding. That's a long time to be running. Your endurance and your breathing is important, but also just your physical legs. So it is that. But as she said, it is a mental thing too, because you have to think beyond the discomfort.
Right.
Not normal to run 26.2 miles in one day. That's not a usual activity. And so you have to, and your body is saying, like, what are you doing? Who are you? Why are you doing this to me? You have trained and all, but you have to mentally move past it. Like when I had the pain, I had to shift my mind to get past that, because whatever you focus on gets bigger. I know I said that before. So you have lots of reasons to stop. You can say, I'm tired. I don't want to do this anymore. But you mentally say, no, talk to yourself. So I think it is a mental game. Significant.
Wow. Yeah, yeah. Well, I can tell you this, for all that care about this aspect of things, I too have ran a 26 mile.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I know you look shocked, Celeste, but you want to know how I did it?
In your mind.
No, I didn't do it. I didn't do no mental vacation stuff. Okay, let me tell you guys what happened was literally.
Okay.
I was out of town. I forget. I think it was Chicago. it must be a big Chicago marathon too, right?
It is. It's great.
Yes, I was in Chicago. My husband and I, we were at a corporate event. Somehow it must have been the same day that this big thing was happening. So we were just going out to jog. And I didn't know that a marathon was taking place. So we go out and we just turn the corner and we're like, what are all these people here? And it was a really big cameras. Sure. It was a big thing. Why did we just join into the race? This is a confession moment, y'all. We have done some silly stuff. We just joined in. We joined in like, yeah. We were going. And the funniest part was wherever we joined in, it was close to the finish line.
Okay.
So people were panting and like, stopping for their little water station, getting bananas. They were like, come on, you're right there. And so people started cheering for us. And they were like, you're almost there. And oh my God, you done so well. And we get down and they start taking pictures. I said, okay.
Oh my God.
We really didn't run this because we didn't have numbers or anything.
Right.
I didn't want to get pressed for being on the last leg.
That is funny, but that's great.
I did get some bananas, water, and stuff like that.
Right. Oh, that's wonderful. I love this story. Chicago is actually a great marathon course because it's flat and it's on the waterfront a lot. So if anybody's going to do it, that's a great one to do.
Yeah, I'll do it like I did it from the hotel and just the last 3 miles or 2 miles or whatever happened because I was breaking a sweat and panting at that point. So that's funny. Let me give you all two where you can definitely get Les Brown's book.
And while you're doing that, let me share one more thing that you made me think of when you shared your story, when you all jumped in. You know how you said people were cheering you on as you're getting near the end or what have you, come on, you can do it. Mm-hmm. The takeaway from that is we all need cheerleaders.
Yes.
We need people on the sidelines that are there. Everybody's not going to run. Everybody doesn't need to run because if everybody ran, you wouldn't have anybody on the side to cheer you on. Right. So making sure you get some support, not going on your own. You need people that are going to encourage you when you get tired, who's going to believe in you, like you, that says, come on, you can do this. And so we want to set that up in our lives as well.
That's right. I love that. Okay, so as we transition to the latter half of our show, we're going to be talking about 100,000 Voices of Hope in action. Let me give you a few administrative announcements. And Shannon, if you could put today's sponsors information in there as well. If you are interested in just supporting the Kim Jacobs Show, make sure I'm going to give you ways that you can do that. That'll be right in the comment section. And most importantly, if you want to become a Patreon member, the Patreon members is $12 a month, and they get an opportunity, all of you that are Patreon members, to have some exclusive after party time with my guest. So in this case, you get Celeste Jonson, and you go backstage and get to hear some after party exclusive content that she does not share on the regular show. And I've had some off the chain guests, y'all, and some of the stuff they said in the after party.
Been great.
It's amazing. It's just flat out amazing. So know that you can become a Patreon member. And the way to do that is patreon.com and / Kim Jacobs Show. And also make sure you subscribe to the Kim Jacobs Show. And the way that you do that is just go to my YouTube channel. Right now, I'm very close to a goal and I'm excited about it. So I want to make sure that you subscribe to the Kim Jacobs Show. And I'll give you the way to do that in the comment section as well. And there you go. Turn on your notifications. When you turn on your notifications, guess what? You'll get alerted when we're live. Right at 11 o'clock a.m. when we go live, you will get notified that we are live and you can start commenting right away. So today's sponsor is sponsored by, now every day different people may sponsor, but I have one sponsor that's sponsoring the Kim Jacobs Show, and I'm very glad to be able to talk about this company, is startmytruckingcompany.com. So today's episode of the Kim Jacobs Show is sponsored in part by startmytruckingcompany.com. Let me give you the information. It's 214-699-5009. And their email is info@startmytruckingcompany.com. Now, in this, it's literally like a trucking company in a box, or a turnkey trucking company system. So you can start a trucking company, male or female, from scratch. They help you with your business plan, help you with routes and call center information, everything international trucking routes. And it is a turnkey program to be able to start your trucking company from scratch. When you do reach out, you can actually just email me, kim@thebalancedoctor.tv, and I will be happy to connect you directly with the owner. And that way you don't have to try to maneuver through a bunch of different calls. So here, yeah, let me see. It's kim@thebalancedoctor.tv. And what you can do is reach out to me. I will connect you with the owner, and then things can go from there. And it is a great opportunity for you. So thank you for sponsoring today's episode, startmytruckingcompany.com. All right. So Celeste, tell us about 100,000 voices in action, because that's so important, especially with the statistics. And as of today, I think Shannon put up there for me
180.
180, yeah. And it's 830,961 worldwide. This is a lot.
Let me share where it came from. Thank you again for this is dear to my heart, and it's actually not something I was looking for, but it sort of tracked me down and I couldn't shake it loose.
Right.
The 100,000 Voices of Hope in action began on May 27th. It hit me that on that day in the United States, that's when we passed the threshold of 100,000 people who died from COVID-19. And although I know people have been passing along the way and we all are struggling with the virus all worldwide, it just somehow hit me that 100,000 histories, insight, wisdom gone in less than 90 days. And it's just like, wow. And although we can never replace them, and we honor them and love on them, the ones that we've lost, but it's gone. What do we do? How can we counter that? And Kim, it hit me especially hard because last year, actually almost a year exactly, on the 25th of August, right, one of my sisters decided to move to heaven. And 18 days later, on September 11th, right, my mother decided to move there as well, right? And so the combination of loss of both of them, both were extraordinarily special to me. And I know it was very fresh for me, the pain of that and the heaviness of that. And then you take that and multiply that by 100,000. I'm thinking, oh my goodness, all of the fallout from that, just the agony, all of the things that come from that. And, you know, even on the interesting side, even under the good day, if you call it a good day, when someone passes, family lose their mind. People, they start doing things that are crazy. So you add all of that to not only the loss of life, but the loss of jobs and income, the loss of our personal freedom to be able to go and come as we choose, the repercussions of being isolated, many of us, all of that combined, I'm saying, whoa, there's a lot of heaviness, despair, depression, all of that. And I said, so what can we do? Now, we just don't want to look at it, you know, as a speaker and a trainer, and that's my gift being of encouragement. I'm saying, God, what do I do? What can we do? And I thought, what if we had 100,000 voices of hope to counterweight all the other weight on the other side? You know, what if we can rally people around to come up with sharing messages to pull us up? Because if you stay there, if you think about Albert Einstein, he told me, you can't, the thinking that got you in that situation or the circumstances, you can't stay in there. You have to raise above that in order to move beyond it. So how do we rally people to do that? And one of the things, Ken, which I love, that my mother and I shared is we love sending out cards. And for years, I've had what I call hope notes. And when I would do my training with leadership development, I'd have all these programs. And I say to the leaders, I said, hey, instead of not just an email, not just a text, what if you just once a week find somebody on your team you can write a note to and send that, and it separates you from the others, and it's special and it's personal and it makes a difference. And so my mother and I both enjoyed that. And I thought, in this 100,000 Voices of Hope in action, part of what we do is twofold. One is I and others that I have voices around me that are positive will be pouring into the members. So we can build our own coffers, because as Les often says, you can't give from an empty wagon, right?
Right. That's right.
Pour into ourselves and build our own energies up. But at the same time, we want to also pour into others. And we also know, Kim, that as we help other people, we feel that joy as well. So
yes.
Isn't that true? So on multiple levels, it's an opportunity to be a part of the solution, part of shifting from the heaviness to the hope of the world. And so I'll intertwine leadership development, because we all have a voice.
Yes.
We all have our own thing. You won't speak the same way I do. I won't speak the way you do. You know, we have different experiences. So
I can't speak the way you do. You see that level of passion and drama you have over there. You're like, bring it in. You're reeling me in, right? I feel like I'm right there.
That's a good thing.
Let me say this before you keep going on, because some people I can see are just joining in. And so I want to make sure that everyone knows that are just joining the broadcast, that today we're talking about 100,000 Voices of Hope in Action.
Right.
And this is an organization founded by Celeste Johnson, who is my guest today. And she talks about obviously why she was inspired to start 100,000 Voices of Hope in Action, because of what's happened with the COVID-19 pandemic. So that's where we are, and bringing you all up to speed. Go ahead, Celeste.
Excellent. And it's interesting when you just said that. Yes, when the idea came to me was, again, back May 27th, when we just crossed 100,000 people. And as we've moved on, this may have to be phase one, because we're now at 180,000. I mean, it's what can we do? That's the question. And people often are frustrated because it's so much uncertainty and just distrust and frustration. And so what I'm trusting that this will be, and it's a membership, so people can join in, participate in, we will be pouring into you all the time. One of the things, for example, that I love that I'm doing is you'll get a daily dose of hope, what I call #daily dose of hope. And so I will send you something just to pump you up every day, and you'll get it in your text. So you don't have to go anywhere. You can do that. We'll be doing sessions where we'll bring in people like Les Brown, like other people that are amazing, to speak into our lives and to help us to assess our own selves. While we have this time, Kim, we know that we didn't ask for it, but we have this time. How are we going to reboot? How are we going to restructure ourselves so that when we re-engage, that we're better and healthier? And we're not just sitting there, woe is me, but we're working on ourselves. So part of the process will help you to identify, what is your values? What do you believe? What do you, really, what is your gift? Are you working in alignment with your assignment? I mean, so if we're going to go back, do we really want to go back, or do we want to go forward? Go forward in alignment with what you're given to do. We all want to make a difference. I think that's true of human nature.
That's right.
We want it to matter that we lived.
That's right. Well, Les Brown talks about a whole analogy of making sure that we don't go to our deathbeds with all of our gifts and our talents surrounding us, and then they're angry that they were put in our body, because now they have to go to the grave with us. So he talks about living full and dying empty. I don't want to die with anything inside of me that's a gift or a talent, because I want it to all be left here to bless somebody on this earth.
Absolutely. And Kim, I think you would agree with me, as you've spoken to people all over, many people are not operating in their gifts. They are just functioning because they went to school and they realized that's not what they wanted to do, but they already invested so much time in it. They thought they just keep going down that path, or they got a job and they're stuck because their lifestyle demands a certain thing, but they're not feeling like in alignment.
Right.
So part of the process that will be going on in this membership is helping people to at least become clear of what that is. And when you can become clear, remember I talked in my Dare to Succeed, when you become clear and focused, it propels you. It propels you into action, because you can see where you're going and the value of that. So we'll walk people through that process as part of that. So I believe the level of hope and energy and possibility will be elevated, and when they're a part of the membership, and then as they reach out, because we got to get to that 100,000, right? So and here's how I did it. Okay, think about this. All of us know at least 10 people we can inspire. At least 10 people, your family, your friends, your colleague, your neighbor, at least 10, probably more. I mean, I'm sure people like us, we could come up with 50 or 100, right? But if everybody did 10 and then they did 10, we could get there pretty quickly.
I love it. I love it.
Isn't that cool? It's like a
Yes.
ripple effect. It's like you drop it in here and you share that. And here's an example. I love it. So when you send cards, think about this. When you send cards,
And people are just complimenting you along the way. So the way that I'm doing the flash round is I'm putting it up here. If you see a comment you want to comment on, feel free. But
awesome.
people are very inspired by what you're sharing.
That's great. And I hope they come on and join us. It's going to be fantastic. I really believe it. So let me go back with the card. So when you give out a card, I sent one because I use this program. One of the things that made me, it took a while to actually execute this was how do I execute it? How do I get these cards to people?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've done Hope Notes, but then if it grows like I anticipate, how would I logistically manage that?
Right.
I was like, oh gosh, I don't know. And I was like, no, but I found this company, or I was reminded of a company called Send Out Cards.
Oh yeah.
Which is, and I had heard of it before, but I forgot about them. And I said, oh, let's use their system because you can do all kinds of cards. You sound like you're familiar with it.
Yes. I have representatives that have mailed me cards and friends that send out cards. One of my friends, Felinda, sent me a card where I had my picture, and it's just a nice customized card. I love it. You know,
it's great. So think about it. You can do it from your computer, so you don't have to go to the store necessarily and do all of that. You have all kinds of cards, and we could just send out cards, and they were, and people, I did that because I wanted to test out. I mean, I know I do it, but I wanted to test out the system. So I sent it to someone I thought about. I said, who could use a card? And someone I know, they were struggling a bit. So I sent a card anonymous. They didn't know. And they didn't call me a few days later. Oh, Celeste, that was so great. I made my husband read it. It was so good, right? Right. What that did was, think about it. You're depositing positive energy in that person, and they even shared it with their husband, and they were probably going to share it as well, and it came back to you. Just imagine multiplying that. If all of us in the membership were doing that, think about the energy that we're shifting in our world. That's the way I see it, and I know it's possible. It's doable. It's really doable. And so I just really invite people to join me on this. Those that can see the vision, that can want to come in and really be around other people, like-minded people. They can grow themselves, but also pour it into other people and be a part of it. I think it's
okay. So how I'm going to take people to the website.
Okay.
And then I want you to walk us through the website. Okay.
Okay. Very good.
All right. And people will still see us off to the side, but they're going to say, all right, let's see.
And for those that don't know, it's going to show you, but it's Voices of Hope in Action.com. voicesofhopeinAction.com. Now I did it. I didn't have to do the www, but Kim needed to do that. So voicesofhopeinAction.com is the website that you can get all kinds of information.
Let me type that before I go. Let me type that in the comment section, because once I show it, I want Voices of
Hope in Action.
Of Hope in Action.com.
Now, let me say this, Kim, while you're typing. See, it's not just Voices of Hope. The inaction is really important because we're not just wishing things will be better. It's about taking action. It's about doing something. It's not saying, I hope you feel fine. No, what are you doing to help them feel fine, right? What actions are you going to take? And we have various ones. One other thing while you're opening this up, I remember earlier this year, see, I get my downloads from God in the morning. So one time he directed me to start this prayer group, and it was 7. The number kept coming 7 days a week at 7 in the morning for 7 weeks. It's like, what? I thought back and forth, but I did it. But along the way, and this is the relevance of this, along the way, we developed a group of kindred spirits and supportive ones. And then we did projects. We raised funds to give things to the frontline workers. And we went there and took food, and we gave hope notes to them, that right. Sustain and have it beyond the food. And some of the events we were singing. I mean, it's just, how do you be a part of that energy that raises people up?
This is good. Okay. voicesofhopeinAction.com. This is good. Okay, so we're going to go here and take a look at what you're saying so you can walk us through. This is exciting. All right, guys. There we go. We are on the screen. Walk us through.
Okay, well, the first is just talking about the basic mission that we have, which is to really help people discover and be inspired, to move from pain to purpose is what I say, and to move from exasperation to expectation. How do we move them from despair to determination, and ultimately heartache to hope? It's how do we facilitate that? And so that's really what it's all about. And ultimately, as you scroll down, you'll see how you will be poured into.
Know your strength.
Know your strength. I know, isn't it a great picture? But we first need to know, and this is why we pour into you first, the two prongs. One is to pour into the members, the other is to pour into others. So as part of pouring into you, we help you to assess and remind yourself or discover your voice, your gifts. Who are you? What do you believe? What are your driving forces? See, many people have what we call limiting beliefs that keep them from ever discovering or becoming their very best. But we never or rarely take the time to assess, what is it that you believe? Let's look at that. How do we shift that? I did a program the other day, a webinar, and I was talking about your mental blueprint. If you understand where your mental blueprint, which is a fascinating concept, but it's where your habits are. How do you develop the habits, success habits that will make success relatively effortless? Habits by definition means you're not struggling because it just comes habitually. So how do we frame that? We'll help you go through that. So knowing your strength, speaking your truth, because once you know it, to be able to boldly speak forward, speak out. One of the things that I put together a program with Les called Discover Your Power Voice and speaking out. So he'll be chiming in and helping us to hone our story. And so we'll do that and help you to do that, and then ultimately make a mark.
Yes. I love it. I love it. And because I've worked with you, I've worked with Les, I know how this works. I've done trainings with Les around the country, and we've helped people identify how they can share their stories and get income for being able to make their stories become public, and how to craft the story so that it matters and impacts the people at the level that you're trying to do it. It's incredible. I know you're very gifted at this, helping yourself. Come on.
That's right. Well, again, this just really reinforces some of the dynamics of how we're going to be helping you, and investing in yourself is a key thing. I was thinking about this when I started a membership. I really have invested heavily in myself, like really heavily, because most people don't do it. But I have to be the example. If I don't do it, how do I expect someone to invest in me? But I've learned the systems, the strategies. How do you leverage what you have? And that's what I really want to share. I have all this knowledge. I don't have kids, so I want to pour into people. So the idea is helping, but deciding to invest in yourself. I was looking at all of these memberships, because this is a membership site, but I was looking at all the memberships I have, all of the online programs, the cable stations, the Spotify, and all these things I pay every month. But that's just for entertainment. What am I doing to build me? And people are more willing to pay for entertainment than they are to pay for themselves. It's like, hold up. If you develop yourself, you can buy a whole lot of entertainment, right?
Right.
But, and I remember being on the road with Les one time. We were doing an event, and he was the speaker, the primary speaker at that time. I often speak with him. But there was this client who, it was a school, a university, who wanted Les to reduce his fee, because they say they didn't have the budget, but they were going to be spending 3 times as much of his fee on a band that they couldn't even recoup their money back because they didn't have enough seats to sell. They were going to lose on the band, but they wanted him to lower his fee to empower the students. It's crazy. People will spend more on entertainment than on themselves. So the whole thing is to help people to really encourage people to do that.
Wow. Okay. That's a great walkthrough. So listen, everyone, make sure you go to Voices of Hope in Action, because again, it's not just about having a voice of hope and then you just have that voice, but it stays within you. How do you put it in action? And so that's what Celeste is going through the process on the website. And it's a membership. I do want people to walk away understanding how they can officially become a partner, join in on this movement. What can they do to become a part of Voices of Hope in Action?
If you go to the website, which you just did, and scroll down, you'll see a couple of different options.
Oh, wait a minute. I need to go back there. Okay. I just didn't want you to keep talking. And I'm like, I'm not on your face over there. Okay. Let's see.
No problem. You can do that. There's a couple of different options. Now, right now, let me just.
Where would I go?
Keep going. Scroll down. Or Scroll down and then click on that button. Can you say become a Hope ambassador? Become a Hope ambassador. And it will not only give you more reasons. If you scroll down to the bottom, you'll see the options of which you can, well, scroll down a little bit, you'll see different. These are so good. I have to tell you myself.
Okay, but seriously, they are so good. We're going to go over these real briefly, everybody. 11 great reasons to become one of 100,000 voices of hope in action. 1, you receive a daily dose of hope, touch point, text. Okay, you know how you do me, Celeste, when we're training each other. So I'll say point number 1, you say point number 2, blah, blah, blah.
I can't read it. It's too small. Okay, I'll get it. I'll pull it up. No problem. I got it on my other computer. Go ahead.
Okay, anyway, point number 1, receive a daily dose of hope, touch point text, to keep you inspired and moving forward.
That's right. Number 2, gain personal freedom from limiting beliefs, people, and circumstances so you can soar.
Point number 3, being consistently engaged in such a priceless experience and move you toward the best version of you.
Confirm or become more in alignment with your God-given assignment, resulting in a boost to your confidence, effectiveness, and sense of purpose.
Number 5, be encouraged to reconnect, restore important relationships, and or connect with those you desire to connect with.
Enhance your leadership acumen, especially with your people skills, how to effectively connect and engage with people, how to cast a vision and enroll support and inspire people to become their best.
Number 7, discover or rediscover your strengths and power voice and learn how to persuasively use it.
Oh, that's so good. Okay.
We can do this all day, right?
Bring the level of clarity and focus that will propel you to take the right actions, positioned to make wise choices and informed decisions.
Number 9, get a refined, redesigned vision for your life, accompanied with a compelling action plan, supported with accountability partners and systems to facilitate optimal results.
And then have a priceless connection with a community of world changers. That's what we are, who holds you up when you feel lost and celebrates you when you win.
And point number 11 is be on the ground floor of a significant and important movement, making a meaningful and positive contribution to the world, proactively engaged in facilitating the hope and healing of our world so desperately needed today. So as we say together, won't you join us?
Join us. Yeah. So yeah, and this is let me say this last thing, and I know our time is winding up. Right now I'm doing what I call founding members. It's a limited number of people. The main rollout will be October 11th, but initially we're doing what I call founding members. And this is the only time that I'm going to be doing the founding members. There's only one time you start it. And there's one basic rate that's low. It will never be this low again. It just won't. This is for the year. It's only $397 for the year, which is like amazing. That's like one class. That's like, it really is at a 9. This is at least $1,000 program right now, but I'm doing it just to get the people in. We're still tweaking some things. I'll be looking for people to give input so that we can make sure I'm on point. So you'd have an opportunity to have that dialogue, to get the behind the scenes. I did a payment plan for those that need a little bit of break to come in, but this is only good, by the way, this is only good through Saturday.
Okay.
Night. There's only a few days. It's a small group, or I'm looking for the first 20, by the way, I'll tell you this. First 20 that pay the full fee. Les Brown has agreed to do a special session for you that will help you to, again, identify your story, to get your power voice. He's going to be doing some of the, hot seats. You know how he does hot seats?
Oh, yeah.
People to really hone it. It's really fascinating to watch. So for the first 20 that do the full fee, you will be in the Zoom room with him and with us, and we'll be able to dialogue. The others can look on. We'll allow others to look on, but you'll have a chance to be up front and close with him and to be able to do that. So I hope that people will join us. It is going to be fantastic. That's where we are. Let me can I say one more thing and then I'm done?
No, you can say as many things as you want. We still have 5 minutes, girl. So listen, let me say this though. Hashtag Voices of Hope in Action. Hashtag Voices of Hope in Action. Let me also share a couple of my audience comments. This is a good blueprint. Now, anytime Allison says, she's one of my Patreon members, that it's a good blueprint, she plans on being a part, I'm sure. And Allison Skeet is one of my Patreon members. So you'll get to talk to her backstage at the after party. My Aunt Geraldine from Newport News, Virginia. She's on. She said, good morning, Kim. You're doing a good job. Thank you, Aunt Geraldine. I appreciate it because it's important to me that my family believe in me and know that I'm representing my family from all walks of life. Wherever you are around the world, I am grateful to be a part of your family. So thank you. Thank you, Aunt Geraldine, for tuning in today. Hey, Aunt Geraldine, you know a lot of people too. Tell them to subscribe to the Kim Jacobs Show. I could already meet my goal if everybody go ahead and tell everybody go to the YouTube channel and subscribe.
And let me say something on that, Kim. So we talked a little bit before, and that's what we need to do as people, but especially as women, but as people, is support one another. So you have a goal, and I shared with you that I'm going to help you reach that goal. I'm going to do my, reach out and help you get that. And then when I have goals, we should help each other to push each other forward. And this group is part of that as well. But I'm excited to help you reach your goal.
Well, I'm definitely, just so you know, I'm definitely going to be one of the founding members of the Voices in Action.
Oh, good.
Voices of Hope in Action.
That's right.
I got to get it right. So you'd be like, you can't go out and say nothing on my behalf, Kim, because you just can't even get the whole word right. Voices of Hope in Action. Ambassador. That's me.
That's right. You'll be a Hope ambassador. That's right. I love it. That's awesome.
Okay. Let's see. 7 days a week at 7 a.m. for 7 weeks. Is that what you're saying?
That's what I did with the prayer group. We're not doing.
Okay.
That was another thing that I did, but that was
so. You always have something going on. So go ahead and say what you were going to say, Celeste.
I want to read this. It's kind of a mantra, and the people that are members, they'll get a copy of this. But it's something that came to me when I used to speak for this organization called Possible Women, and I just love it. And so I'm tailoring it for you. And here's how it goes. I think you'll like it. I think your audience will like it. It says, I am an extraordinary woman who dares to lead with hope. I am an extraordinary woman. My life is important. I am charged to raise the bar in my world. I am committed to making a difference in our world. Women are historically the change agents to better and greater possibilities. Women who first believed something better was possible. Women who seize the moments of their, seize the moments of their circumstances. Women who, despite the odds and despite the naysayers, decided to step up and lead. Ask Rosa Parks, Mother Teresa, Eleanor Roosevelt, Madam C.J. Walker, Oprah Winfrey, and Malala, to name a few. They chose to lead. They dared to lead. There were women who believed it was possible, extraordinary women who dared to lead. As women, we nurture the hearts of our children. We have the power to influence the mind of those around us. We have the opportunity, and I dare say the responsibility, to change the trajectory of our communities, our country, and yes, even our world. We actually have the obligation to be great. Right here and now, I choose to use everything that I have to make a difference in our world, to make a difference that I even existed. My vision is possible. My dream is possible. Winning and winning big, as I define it, is possible. Yes, I dare to dream, even the impossible dream. I dare to believe. I dare to lead. I dare to win. For I am an extraordinary woman who dares to lead with hope. Are you?
Wow. Drop the mic.
This is the people. That's who it is.
Just drop the mic. Seriously.
That's it.
Do you dare to lead? Yeah, my mom said I have a few goals I need to reach also, so please help me.
We got it.
You're going to be on that founding membership. I'll make sure of it for sure.
Yes.
And
Yes.
anyone else that wants to join us, yes. Anybody? Yeah, it says drop the mic.
It's a good thing, y'all. I'm excited, and whether certainly I'd welcome you in. If for any reason you can't, just keep us lifted. Trust that we turn the table on what's happening in our world. We can't change circumstances. We can change how we deal with it, how we handle it, and we can be catalysts. We can be that voice that speaks into the life that could change the life forever.
Wow, there you have it. Wow. Go to voicesofhopeinaction.com. If you already know that you're going to become a member, and even if it's through the payment plan or whatever way you need to do it to become, make sure you say, I'm in, I am in, I am a voice of hope in action. Type that in the comment section. I am in, I am a voice in A voice of hope in action. Type that in. I can type that in. I am a voices of hope in action
Woo!
member.
I'm so glad. Thank you. I'm looking forward to working with this.
I am a Voices of Hope in Action member. I can't wait to go on this journey with you. I think it's incredible and I'm excited about it. And I see other people that's going on the journey as well. Allison typed in Voices of Hope in Action.com. My mom typed in Voices of Hope in Action.com. Allison said, I'm in. I'm a voice of hope in action. And so thank you for revealing or unveiling your program, Voices of Hope in Action, today on the Kim Jacobs Show.
Absolutely. I appreciate it. Thank you.
You're a blessing. You're a blessing to the world. And I'm excited about going on this journey with you, Celeste. All right, everybody. With us tomorrow, it's Freestyle Friday, everybody. Go ahead and meet. Oh, Tashiana said, I'm in. I'm in.
Yay. Welcome. Welcome.
Listen, I'm here to tell you guys, tomorrow is Freestyle Friday. That means that it's time for you guys to get your thoughts, your inbox me, email me, text me, do whatever to say, Kim, people do it every week. We need to talk about this. This is a topic we need to deep dive in. Whatever the topics are, get them to me so we can hit the ground running at 11 o'clock a.m. tomorrow morning. From 11 to 12, we're talking about all kinds of topics that matter to you as my studio audience. We can talk about anything. It can be about what's happening in Kenosha. We could talk about politics. We could talk about other celebrity stuff. We could talk about whatever matters to you as my studio audience. So go ahead and give me all your Freestyle Friday information. I'll see you tomorrow at 11 o'clock a.m. Make sure you know that right now you can go to Quest Church Prayer Line. Pastor Jacobs is praying for people around the world with all of these circumstances and situations, especially regarding COVID-19. Statistics are changing daily. People are still in isolation. People need prayer.
Do.
Go to 978-990-5000. Access code is 322-083#. And that's Monday through Friday from 12 to 12:30 p.m. God bless you. Celeste, thank you for being my guest.
Thank you.
And stay backstage for the after party, okay?
I will.
Thank you, Shannon, for helping me backstage. Thank you guys for tuning in today. God bless you all.